Death Note is a story of justice, morality, and the clash of genius minds. It begins with Shinya Ieyasu, a high school student, brilliant but bored with the monotony of life. Despite his sharp intellect, he finds little satisfaction in the routines of the world around him. He views society as broken, filled with corruption and suffering. One day, his life changes forever when he stumbles upon a mysterious black notebook, lying abandoned on the ground, titled Death Note. Curiosity drives him to examine the notebook, and he finds chilling instructions. The human whose name is written in this notebook shall die. At first, Shinya dismisses it as a cruel prank or an elaborate hoax, but as he flips through its blank pages, the question lingers. Could it be real? The temptation to test it becomes irresistible. That evening, the news reports a criminal holding hostages. With shaking hands, Shinya writes the man's name in the notebook, following the exact rules inscribed. The name, the face, and a simple cause of death, heart attack. 40 seconds pass. Nothing happens, or so it seems. Moments later, the television screen erupts with breaking news. The criminal has died on the spot. Stunned, Shinya stares at the notebook in disbelief. The following days are consumed by his experiments. Shinya tests the death note on other criminals, confirming its power. With each entry, he feels a godlike surge of control over life and death. His initial fear gives way to ambition. Shinya decides he will use this power to rid the world of evil, creating a utopia free from crime. He will be its ruler, its god. But the Death Note is not just a tool, it comes with a dark companion. One day, Shinya meets Ryuk, a grotesque yet oddly humorous death god, or Shinigami, who dropped the notebook into the human world. Ryuk is fascinated by Shinya's use of the Death Note. To him, humans are amusing, driven by desires and contradictions. He reveals a sinister truth. Anyone who uses the Death Note forfeits their right to heaven or hell. Shinya, undeterred, laughs. His goal is clear: reshape humanity. As Shinya continues his crusade, his actions catch the world's attention. People begin to notice the mysterious deaths of criminals. Supporters hail this unseen force as a savior, calling it Kira, derived from the English word killer. But not everyone sees Kira as a hero. Governments and law enforcement agencies begin to investigate. A brilliant but eccentric detective whose mind is as sharp as Shinya's. L quickly deduces that Kira is in Japan and can kill only if he knows a person's name and face. With his sharp intuition and methodical approach, L narrows the search. He sets traps using fake broadcasts and decoys to draw Kira out. The battle of wits begins. Shinya, now aware of L's presence, is both intrigued and threatened. Who is this mysterious opponent who dares challenge him? The psychological warfare intensifies as L closes in. Shinya, under suspicion, must balance his normal life as a student with his secret identity as Kira. He manipulates those around him, even his closest allies, to protect his secret. Meanwhile, L uses every resource at his disposal, from surveillance to undercover operatives to unmask Kira. The Death Note itself becomes a character in this deadly game. Its rules, complex and often vague, offer Shinya both opportunities and constraints. He discovers ways to manipulate the rules, using the notebook to orchestrate elaborate deaths that mask his involvement. But with each step, the cost of his actions grows heavier. Innocent lives are caught in the crossfire, and Shinya's moral justification begins to erode. Ryuk, ever the observer, watches with amusement. He warns Shinya that the Death Note is a double-edged sword, but he never intervenes. To him, this is all a game, a source of entertainment in the otherwise dull realm of death gods. As the story progresses, new players enter the scene. One such figure is Misa Amane, a devoted Kira follower who possesses her own Death Note. Misa, willing to do anything for Shinya, adds both complexity and chaos to the game. Her loyalty becomes both a weapon and a liability for Shinya. The tension between Shinya and L reaches its peak in a series of mind games, traps, and close calls. Shinya uses his charisma and cunning to stay one step ahead, while L relies on logic and unrelenting determination. The two geniuses mirror each other, yet they are opposites in their values and methods. For Shinya, justice is absolute control. For L, justice is the truth. But the question looms, who is truly just? Shinya, who seeks to eliminate evil at any cost, or L, who believes no one should have the power to decide life and death? The story delves into the complexity of morality, exploring themes of power, corruption, and the human psyche. As Shinya's ambition grows, so does his arrogance. He begins to view himself as invincible, underestimating L and the human cost of his actions. Allies turn to enemies, secrets unravel, and the battle becomes increasingly personal. The stakes rise to a boiling point where a single mistake could mean victory or death. Death Note is not just a story of power and ambition, it's a tale of consequence. Every action, every decision ripples outward, affecting lives in ways Shinya could never predict. As the line between good and evil blurs, the audience is left questioning, what would you do with the Death Note? This is the world of Death Note, a gripping psychological drama, a clash of intellects, and a haunting exploration of the human soul.